a small note for that, but it's just a quick summary publication for the paper of this ordinance.
Questions for staff? Second
Mayor Spooner,
reading. Yes.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-4.
Van Sluis, second by Barnes, to approve ordinance 2025-4, approval rezoning certain properties at the corner of 2nd Avenue Northwest, 14th Street Northwest, to C2 Highway Commercial.
Councilmember Barnes. Aye. Dumbuya.
Yeah.
Ross.
Aye.
Rowan.
Aye.
Van Sluis.
Aye.
Mayor Spooner.
Aye, motion passes. Motion to approve the summary.
So move. Second. Aye.
Aye.
Passes, ordinance is publicized. We are on item D, ordinance 2025-5, to vacate a portion of the drainage utility easement, 190 20th Street. Second reading, once again.
Thank you, Mayor Spooner. So the item in front of you is an ordinance to vacate a drainage and utility easement associated with the Malaco Auto Body project that we saw at our last meeting. This is a second reading. There have been no substantial changes to the ordinance, so we're recommending that you approve that. This also has a summary publication attached to it.
Sure, second reading, any questions for Mr. Davis?
Spooner.
Yes.
Approve ordinance 2025-5.
I'll second.
Ordinance to approve vacate portion of the drainage
Councilmember Barnes.
Aye.
Dumbuya. Ross.
Aye.
Rowan.
Aye.
Van Sluis.
Aye.
Mayor Spooner.
Aye, that motion is passed. Approval of the summary of the
So moved. Aye.
publication is approved. Ordinance 2025-7, approve a zoning text amendment to allow proof of parking in a commercial district.
Thank you again, Mr. Spooner, or Mayor Spooner. So the item in front of you is an ordinance to change our zoning ordinance regarding proof of parking. What we currently do is allow that in industrial, and so we are requesting that this be allowed in commercial properties as well, up to a certain point. This is the second reading of this ordinance. Very similar to last time, we are recommending approval of the zoning text amendment, as well as the summary publication that accompanies it.
Questions? Yes.
Motion to approve ordinance 2025.
Second.
I have a motion by Barnes, second by Van Sluis to approve ordinance 2025. Approve a zoning text amendment to
Councilmember Barnes. Dumbuya. Ross.
Aye.
Rowan.
Aye.
Van Sluis.
Aye.
Mayor Spooner.
aye. And I would like a motion to approve the summary of this.
So moved. Second.
Ross, second by Van Sluis.
I did not second.
He got the second, didn't he?
No. Would have been me Oh, or and him. then, yeah, but
Aye.
Yeah, I got a motion by Ross
aye.
and a second by Dumbuya. Motion is publicized. Item F, Faribault Downtown Central LLC, preliminary and final plat agreement.
Yes, Mayor.
All right, Harry Davis, once again.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm going to switch this up on you and actually have a presentation for this one. So the applicant has brought forward actually two requests, one for a preliminary and another for a final plat. In addition to this, staff is bringing forward a development agreement associated with the final plat for this project. The applicant is Nord Johnson, working on behalf of Faribault Downtown Central LLC. It's for the property known as 301 Central Avenue, and it's, again, a preliminary and final plat with a development agreement. Here's the general location, and then the area that's outlined in cyan on the map in front of you is the location for 301 Central. And then here's kind of the general zoning map around this property. The plats are to subdivide this property from one lot into three, and the property lines are going to follow some internal building walls that are going to be fire rated in order to be located on a property line. And then the development agreement is our standard development agreement that we have between the city and the developer. In this case, it's just for platting only. Here's a look at what the preliminary plat looks like. And the final plat, there's a small difference between the two. There's kind of just been some work with staff and the applicant since one was created. Internal to this, just because there are some connections on the second floor, there is an easement for ingress and egress, and this is mostly for fire and safety reasons. But we've worked very closely with the applicant to make sure that this is in place. So generally from the preliminary plat side, staff has no issues. From the final plat side, we do have some specifics that need to be changed on the final plat, but nothing that we can't work through with them. So we don't see any significant issues with the final plat. And the development agreement is complete, and we're working with the applicant to make sure that any changes to it are minor. But in general, this meets our zoning requirements, and so we are recommending that you approve the resolution for the preliminary and final plats, and then also the resolution associated with the development agreement.
Questions for Mr. Davis on this item? And seeing none, I take a motion on resolution 2025-157.
Mayor Spooner,
Yes.
I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-157.
Second.
I have a motion by Ross, second by Van Sluis on resolution 2025-157. Plats for the Eastman disposal addition. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye. All opposed? Motion passes. On to the second item, resolution 25. Anything on this one?
No, Mayor. I've covered it in the major presentation.
Mayor Spooner,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-158.
Ross, second by Barnes, resolution 2025-158. Authorize execution of Eastman dispersal addition developer plating only an agreement. Shows you the week I've had. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. That's it for those. On to bids, number 9. Resolution 2025, accept bids for municipal airport airfield rehabilitation.
Thank you, Mayor Spooner, and members of the council. Resolution 2025-148 is seeking approval to accept the bids for the municipal airport airfield pavement rehabilitation project. Bids for the project were opened on June 4th with 2 bids received. The low bid coming from BCM Construction, the amount of $732,729, which is below the estimate of just approximately over $1 million project. Total project cost, including engineering, construction, administration, is $958,405. The funding for the project, this has changed since the memo. Since that time, I had a meeting with MnDOT. So the breakdown before you is $833,745 coming from federal funding. So that's 87% of the project, and the state funding for this project has been increased to $78,486, therefore reducing our initial estimate of the airport funds contribution was approximately around $140,000, so reducing it to $46,174. Initially, there was $32,000 budgeted for the project, so a slight amendment will have to be that, but the MnDOT participation came in the amount that was not going to be deemed eligible by the FAA. So then having conversations with MnDOT, they were willing to contribute at a 70-30% for that participation model for that part of the project. And just a little bit on the funding, it said it's a grant, but it's that the federal funds are truly in the form of a grant, but they are funds that are allocated to our airport annually. So if Faribault doesn't spend those funds, some other airport is going to spend those funds. We would have to forego those funds. So it's not like a typical grant procedure where you apply and see if you get it, but it is in the form of a grant. That's how it's handled. So it's not a true grant in the form of how we typically apply for a grant. So with the project schedule, looking to award the contract tonight, we would not sign that contract until we have that grant in hand. Before you tonight, you did approve the approval to apply for that, so I'll be getting that that process started tomorrow. We'd be looking to start construction August 18th with final completion in October. So with that, I would recommend the approval of resolution 2025.
Any questions for Director Block? Entertain a motion.
Spooner,
Yes.
make a motion to approve resolution 2025-148.
Second.
Motion by Rona, second by Luce, to approve resolution 2025-148, accept bids for municipal airport airfield pavement rehabilitation.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Boards, commission reports, announcements, project updates. Anybody got anything?
Yes, I'd just like to remind everybody that our June council chat is tomorrow night, but an earlier start time at 5 p.m. so we don't conflict with the Residence Academy. It will be at the Great Hall at the library, and very timely, we will be having our consultant from Bar Engineering there to talk about some different proposals for the two dams that are there, the Woolen Mill Dam and then the one that's just north of that, and what we might be considering beyond sort of just the FEMA repair that we're authorized for. So interesting pictures. We'll be looking for feedback on what's important to individuals, and then ultimately coming back to the council at some point with having you hopefully narrow it down to a few more, rather than like 6 ideas, narrowing it down to a few, like 1 or 2 to basically move forward with additional design. So more to come on that, but tomorrow's the starting point on this.
Buckham Library.
5 o'clock, Great Hall Library.
The Administrator, you had mentioned the Residence Academy is right after the meeting. Is it there?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be at the community center in the library tomorrow night.
And I did have one other thing. There, it's called the Holy Smokes concert. The Old Country Boys, or brothers, I should say, are going to be playing at Christ Lutheran Church, but all proceeds are going to go towards the Paradise Theater of the Arts for the wood fire pizza that they're selling. So I just wanted to encourage that. It's June 11th from 5 to 8:30 at Christ Lutheran Church.
Heritage Days kicks off Thursday, 5 o'clock, Mayor's Reception, Central Park. No rain. Just show up. Don't think about it. It's gonna be nice. I promise you. Parade, 6:15 Saturday. Councilman, let's all meet at basically the Heritage. Hey, that's where we'll be. What? No. The parade's at 6:15. Please be there early. Okay, we don't wait, right? The parade will roll. If you're not there, we will roll. So anybody else got anything? Anyone? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
By Barnes, second by Don Booya to adjourn.
Aye.